Hey everyone, thank you for joining me yet again. What a journey it has been, honestly. I just want to thank you all, before we begin this reading. Thank you for sharing your time, your energy with me in this divine place, in this divine space. We're allowing God, angels, guardians, ancestors to come through and do what they do, which is to love us, to nurture us, to share messages with us, the good, the bad, the up, the down. It's all around, you know what I mean? All aspects, all facets, all faces, all places, all spaces. You know what it is? It's just all encapsulated. Everything is like, I just appreciate that we've been on a journey thus far. And, Spirit didn't bring us this far just to bring us this far. So as the journey continues, we continue to take the journey within. And I just want to thank you for being here and thank you for sticking with the mission. Very important. Thank you for listening as well. As much as I'm sharing this with you, I think this is also a channeled message from the guides, acknowledging, my commitment, your commitment to growth, to expansion. But yes, let us begin. Greetings, Soul Tribe. Thank you for being the vibe. It's your host doing the most, Mr. G3E, the one and only. Hey. Welcome to another episode of the Daily Spread. The Daily Spread, where we take the journey within and we are led. Just to get in. Ooh, I'm already pulling out a card, Alchemy. But, I'm already just thinking about bread being buttered on both sides, with the spread. And we're getting to spread these blessings, But yes, welcome to another episode of the Daily Spread, where we take the journey within, and on this path we are led. Thank you, God. Thank you, angels. Thank you, guardians and ancestors, for being here, wishing us well. May this reading be swell, and in the highest vibration of love we dwell. Wow. Today I am using my very own deck. It's actually called The Journey Within. And this deck has been inspired by a lot of music, a lot of experiences that I've had. And as I'm, doing my introduction and talking, I'm just, pulling some cards out, pulling some charms out. And then I'll start channeling from there, and then we'll definitely pull out some tarot thereafter, Alright, what you got for us, Spirit? Okay, we're going to take them all. Alright, so let's spread them out left to right. Let's see what we got. I pulled out quite a few charms over here. Of course, please do check out the image on the on the post, and then you'll see what we're rocking with. Wow. This looks like a whole journey, actually. Goodness, this is so beautiful. What a story. Okay. So I will read out all these charms to you, and then I think, the charms are one story, but, we'll see how it goes into the tarot as well. So, from my own Journey Within deck, that feels good to say, I pulled out 3 cards. We have Alchemy, Evolve, We Evolve Every Day, and Heal and Manifest. So I'm definitely also seeing this as the current energy, the energy we're working with, as well as the potential outcome. So, with alchemy, it's a mixture, this and that, left and right, up and down. And that's definitely what was coming through earlier as I was just appreciating, you, collective, our spirit guides as well. Just to acknowledge that, it definitely does take effort to an energy and acceptance and balance and harmony to bring things together. If I think about the Alchemist journey of turning lead into gold, while these are 2 substances that exist on their own, you could find lead and not know how to turn it into gold, or find gold and not know that it's from lead, but it is that element of, you know, the energy, that interaction with the energy, the process, that system within it that was conjured up. You know, I'm even getting a message that I got from a pastor that I listened to, Pastor Tim, and he spoke about how, you know, even as we go through different seasons and cycles, we are ultimately meant to set up systems that can live beyond us, you know, live for us, because even when we're not there, we're still hoping to yield the same result. You know, as I'm looking at the floor right now, I'm looking at the tiles and I'm seeing how all of them are joined together, and between them there's grout. So it's like that is what brought together these big pieces and kept them together. And sometimes we don't need a lot to get big pieces together, but it is structured, it's in a line, it's, you know, it's has a direction, it serves a purpose ultimately. So once we can align the energy, it then forms around the shape, you know, and then it forms with other shapes. And I'm also getting something about a spider and how a spider like spreads its web, you know. So definitely an energy about how things are coming together at this time. And even as I made this playlist, thank you, Spirit was reminding me of the inspiration behind it, as to how, you know, it was every song included two things coming together. So as we explore, you know, in this new era that we are in now, because, you know, we've just timeline jumped, it's a matter of saying like, which things do we now put together to create new things? You know, in the Alchemist story, they were creating gold, but in this story, we are creating all these charms, and that's why we have them all laid out here. But overall, just looking at them, it's definitely music, travel, love, food, animals, you know, exploration, adventure, traveling, you know, technology, more animals, blooming, expression. It's food, it's, you know what, it's giving so much. It's even, I'm even seeing shoes here, and, you know, being like monsters. But, you know, I'll get to it, but it's very beautiful, honestly. I love to see it. I'll get to the charms in a moment, but there's a lot that's being created from our alchemy. Moving on to the next card, we evolve every day. You know, this is a reminder that every single day we have an opportunity to grow, to expand, to, you know, take a new form. I'm thinking about a Pokemon, or even a Digimon, you know, because now we're in like a digital era. What's that other one that was created recently? Pal World or something? Yeah. But anyways, these animals, you know, through experience, through, you know, having trained, learned new abilities, they were now needing to break out of the shell or the previous form and take a new form. But if we are evolving every single day, you know, we are shedding skin and we don't even see it. You know, we are shedding versions of ourselves that we don't even see. And we are even doing alchemy that we don't even see. So, you know, I'm also, you know, with me focusing on the sea, it's like two things. The sea, it's like a vast expanse. It's a lot of water, you know, it has depth, it has, you know, it's a medium that things can flow within, you know, it has width, it's expanse, you know, it's taking a shape, it's taking a form, that which is this earth, right? But then also the seeing is to say we don't always have to see the evolution to know that it's actually taking place. With this particular card, it was very much inspired by, you know, the first letters, which is WEED, which is weed in this case. And, you know, even in my evolution, I started smoking weed when I was younger because I thought it was a cool thing to do. But now I find myself in a place where I'm smoking much less. And, you know, I'm still finding myself being able to tap in, to tune in. And it's a matter of saying, like, we can find so many ways to, you know, achieve the same result, but in different ways. Like, for example, me tapping in, it's like, you know, with me having smoked weed, I'm getting high. But now I can get high from spirit. Now I can get high from, you know, joyous activities, or in investing my time and energy into other things. But those things that become our new highs, you know, are going to be discovered from this alchemy. So by trying different things, we are now going to discover other ways of being, of feeling, of evolving, because we have, been made to believe that we need, external substances like drugs, alcohol, just external stimuli, things outside of us to connect with what is within us. So now it's a matter of, let's flip the script, let's reverse, but I said everse, okay. Let's reverse this thing and realize that we can start from within and spread this energy outwards. As I'm looking at this evolve being in the middle, I'm also thinking of this evolve tattoo that I have, which is in the middle of my chest. So, it's a reminder that it starts from within, it starts from the heart, and the heart is within this chest area, the cavity, it's the ribs. And I'm even holding my hands together almost like a rib cage. And as our heart expands, our ribs will open up. So I'm also, being reminded that as we evolve, we just need to breathe, breath work, meditation, relaxation. It's going to be very important for us to integrate these evolutions, because sometimes, our spirits can move much further ahead than what our body does or in the physical world does. Wow. Everse. I'm actually being led to Google if everse even means something. Just give me a second, because I feel like I'm about to learn something right now. I'm about to evolve. Everse. Let's see. Is everse even something? Okay, I'm seeing something about software. I'm seeing something about voices right now, but also something about electricity. But you know what? With me just seeing this, voices, electricity. What else did I say? Software. So, what new downloads can we have? What software are we running on? And is our voice evolving? I think there's things that we need to speak, there's things that we need to put out, but then also with the electricity, it's an energy. Are we tapped in? Are we tuned into this energy? And what is it that we do? I'm even seeing here, a company that's closed right now, but it's open 8 a.m. on Fridays. So I'm thinking when do we open our energy? When do we close our energy? And knowing, being able to discern or choose between times to evolve and times to integrate. Wow. Yeah, but definitely a time to speak, a time to listen, a time to act, a time to rest. And that's the alchemy, right? Two things of opposite nature, opposite ends of the spectrum, and ultimately being on the scale. It feels like there's a lot happening there. But now I'm even being led to look at the next card. And the next card is heal and manifest. And don't we have two things happening here? We are healing and manifesting at the same time. So if we are going to heal and manifest at the same time, we need to remove the dirt, so we are creating an open platform so that these things can appear or come to fruition, where we're not just saying now that, we don't always see things in the physical, but then if we can spend time doing the healing, then we're giving it a chance to appear in the physical. I'm also thinking about how we ended off yesterday's reading, speaking about how we need to be in a state of joy. And as we are in a state of joy, it changes our physiology, our biology within us, because now our body's in a place where it can divert, energy, resources to the different parts of us that actually need to heal. And while we are grounding this energy, then it also allows the energy to expand. It's like we are the anchoring point, or creating a solid foundation for these things to come into fruition. Wow, Spirit's telling me right now that we don't even need the tarot cards. We're just gonna pull more cards from my deck, and we're gonna speak to these charms. Wow, Spirit, hey, you got me today. You got me, gang. All right, let's go. Let's split the deck one time. All right, so first two cards that I got is Transitions and Through the Fire. Next two I have is Love and rise and grind, and then in the middle we've got keep going as well. Okay, let's actually move this up. Okay, and we're making movies, we're making moves. Okay, I got you, Spirit, I got you. And I know you got me too. Thank you for having us as the collective, man. That's beautiful. Oh, my nose just got itchy. We about to smell things from afar, guys. We have, cleared our senses. We have cleared the pathway. I'm thinking about the nasal cavity, how we breathe in. And we were just speaking to breathing exercises, right? And how that helps us ground energy and so on. And it's like just from us breathing in, we are absorbing all this love, all this light. And I'm even seeing how I've pulled the love card over here. But, I'm even being reminded of yesterday's reading, how I was saying that we were seeing things in 3s and 2s. And here I have pulled 2 cards in a set of 3. Wait, what am I saying? 3 cards in a set of 2. Hey, you know what? 2, 3, 3, 2. In fact, you know what? Just look at the image. Let me not judge how this reading is coming through. But anyways, let me read you the charms. Then we're definitely going to go deeper into, what's actually going on with these cards. So first one, we have that green animal, the green monster from Monsters Inc. Let's see, what is his name? Green monster from Monsters Inc. What is his name? Mike Wazowski. Yes, so we've got Mike Wazowski here. We have a spaceship, the rocket ship. We have a ball that's, being caught in a net. It kind of looks like a soccer ball, but also gives me like a volleyball at the same time. We have a dinosaur, a T-Rex. We have a mermaid. We have Iron Man. We have an animal that looks like a chick, a very small chicken. We have some Crocs with a star on it. We have headphones. We have what's that thing that people go up in? That floating bubble that people go up in. A hot air balloon. Yes, there we go. Thank you, Spirit. We have Minnie Mouse. We have... What is this? Daffy Duck's partner. What's her name? Let's see. Oh no, not Daffy Duck. Donald Duck. So it is her name, Daffy Duck. Let's see. No. Daffy Duck is the other one. Let's see. Donald Duck. Donald Duck's wife. Daisy Duck. Yes, we've got Daisy Duck. And look, it's a common misconception. He says here, Donald Duck's wife is a common misconception. He does not have a wife, but his longtime girlfriend is Daisy Duck. Oh, okay, there we go. Maybe there's something about that that's gonna come through. But we have McDonald's fries. We have a handbag. We have a dog, and we also have a butterfly. So I'm just gonna go like one charm at a time. So with me seeing the Mike Wazowski from Monsters Inc., I'm thinking about how the monsters went to school. They were in training to learn how to be monsters. I think we are being reminded that we are also in training to learn how to be the alchemists, how to mix and match energy, how to present ourselves in a way that fully hones, embodies what we are, who we are, which is like starseeds, empaths, gifted people, the chosen ones, the ones who are here on earth with a mission. So while they were learning to be the best monsters, we're learning to be our best selves. With the spaceship over here, I've got it in this upright position. It's taking flight. It looks like, it's blasting off. And, after having honed in, we are now needing to move very quickly in our direction because with the next charm, we are shooting to score. When a ship goes anywhere, it always puts in coordinates so it knows its destination. And here our destination is to victory. We are winning this game of life. With me even seeing this dinosaur, looks like a T-Rex, it's like this is a big thing that we're going for, but it also gives me a sense of it being very ancient, very old. This victory is something that was owed to us, and it comes from a previous lifetime. So we are getting our abundance in this time. I'm now getting an energy of support and angels as well, and it's with this mermaid and with Iron Man, it's we have integrated technology as well as waters from Atlantis, messages from the water. So it's I'm getting something about again the sea that we were speaking to earlier. This vast expanse is being integrated now digitally, so it needed to translate over time into this new era, because in the time of dinosaurs we didn't have this technology, but we definitely had water. So it's because water has existed throughout the ages, it is what is connecting the old to the new. So this mermaid is almost acting as a bridge, because I'm even seeing it with its arms stretched out to the T-Rex and to this Iron Man figure, to say even as things grow, evolve over time, because we will always have water, we will always have this bridge, always have this connection to our past, to the ancient times, and it will move us into the future times, because water is life. So ultimately we are taking life into new shape, into new form. Wow, that feels very powerful right there. With the chickpeas, I'm even getting this image now about there was always that question of what came first, is it the chicken or the egg? And right now it's showing me that regardless of what came first, it was all creation, it was all alchemy. And with us seeing this chickpea, it's pointing to how in this era we have an opportunity or a chance to be these little chickens and grow into bigger chickens by taking the steps forward. And of course, once we are big chicks, or hens or roosters, we get to lead, we get to drop more eggs, we get to drop gems for the new age, for this new era, this new generation that's going to come in, this new timeline. So yeah, we're taking our steps forward. I'm seeing Crocs here with a star. It's about shining our light as well, but then also knowing that as I'm looking at a Croc, it's like a shoe that has open holes in it. It's about getting the air in there, us being lifted, being on this foam comfortable structure, but then also giving an opportunity for elevation, for us to be still while we are moved forward or moving forward, also being grounded and connected to the earth. So not losing our connection to the earth as we move ahead. With the headphones, it's giving me two things, paying attention, listening for the signs. Ooh, thank you for the confirmation, Barb Tawaz. But then also, music. When you are on a journey, it's so nice to have music. Music is comforting. It helps you enjoy the journey as well. So it's also, speaking to, all of these cards and how they were inspired by music, inspired by experiences. So I think it's also about documenting these experiences so that they can be heard, because we need to remember what we have done so that, we can again give it to the new chicks, the new ones that are going to come up after us. With this hot air balloon, it's in the shape of a heart. I'm getting something about this part of the reading, looking towards what we are, even manifesting, or what's coming in, what we are working with. And we are ultimately working with love. Love is hot. It's such a warm energy. It's going to rise up. It's also going to now help us travel further and higher as well. I'm also seeing that there's a heart in the hot air balloon, the balloon shape is in a heart, but then also in that basket that's being carried, it's also in a heart. So while love elevates us, we need to also live from love. We need to let love lead. And I'm even seeing it in the pink and and the red with the white as well. I'm definitely getting a very much womb energy. I'm even seeing a woman's private part right now in this. So it just lets me know that, with the creation, with bloodshed, we are going through cycles of love, and we're going to learn so much more about love with where we're going. But it's actually being wrapped up as like a gift. It looks like there's a bow tie around this heart as well. So we need to just hang 10 while things are being shed, so that new areas or spaces can be traversed into or born. So with the next two, we have Mickey Mouse as well as Daisy Duck. Interestingly, Mickey Mouse, we see her in her full body, and she's also got her hands out left to right, similar to what we had the mermaid left to right. And then we also have Daisy Duck. So it's like, even as we pursue, our love interests, as we learn to hone in on this love energy, perhaps with another, with, a love interest, maybe even with spirit, even as we get to love parts of ourselves, our masculine, our feminine, as we integrate, we need to be aware of, perhaps even other energies which might want to interfere with that. Because if I'm thinking of them as like two women, it's like, hey, these two women could also be in conflict with each other. I'm not sure if there's even another message about two women right now who maybe are in our lives, who are trying to compete for attention. I don't know, it's just coming through as like a distraction in a sense, but then also being aware that we shouldn't get catfished, because here we're seeing Daisy Duck just with her face, and with Minnie Mouse we're seeing her whole body. So it's like, don't be falling for tricks if you don't know everything about it. I think this is just a warning about don't be deceived by appearances, actually, because people will like kind of play on your heartstrings and present themselves as beautiful, as wondrous, with big eyes, and kind of having this view of presenting love, but then we don't fully know what their intentions are. With the next one, that was also quite a deep one right there. Well, interestingly, wait, let me see. Before the mermaid, there were 4 charms, and after the Minnie Mouse, there are 5 charms. So the reason why I'm actually being drawn to these is because with both of these charms that have their arms stretched out, it was about connecting the 2 charms that were on either side. But on either side of them, if we've got 4 on the left of the mermaid and then 5 on the right of Minnie Mouse, I'm getting the 4-5. And in Zulu, or in South Africa rather, in slang terms, 4-5 speaks to a man's private part now. So it's speaking to like a phallic symbol. And I was speaking to maybe having those feminine figures, but then I was also speaking to about like integrating that with our masculine sides as well. It's to say, can we discern? Can we also balance those two? In my mind, I'm even seeing the Ace of Wands right now. Is to say, in this new era, with this new power that we have, how do we direct our energy? How do we be the alchemists, the magicians that know how to use our power to move it forward and move it ahead? Wow. I didn't think that was going to come through like that. But yeah, I don't know. There's also something about the number 45. 5 and 4 is what? 8? 5 and 4 is 9. And we are also in the year of number 9. So it speaks to also completion. So, with me even seeing them like with the hands out, it's like anything that was not going to aid to our completion is also being removed. And again, being a complete individual is being your masculine and your feminine, the left side of the heart as well as the right side of the heart, and it's a start. I was getting that, with how I kind of jumble the words there together. Sometimes I would think like, okay, maybe it's a speech impediment. Maybe I'm just like, speaking over myself, but it's like the channels want to come through at the same time, but then they end up evolving, because again, that's the alchemy taking place all the time. So even new words, new ways of speaking are going to come through, new dialects, new ways of forming shapes, new words are going to come through as we evolve. We're bringing new things into existence, which is this alchemy, because we're trying new things, right? Wow. Okay, with the McDonald's chips, my first thought is this is the only thing I would eat from McDonald's because, I've noticed that, fast foods are not always the greatest. And we've even heard stories about how some of the foods that we get from not only McDonald's but even other fast food places are not always the healthiest. So it's a matter of saying, can we make sure that what we intake, the food that we have, the inputs that we have even into the system, if our body is a system, what inputs are we giving it? Are we giving it the best things that it can use to, generate better outputs that is part of the process, that is part of the system? I'm also getting something about being a clear channel right now, or being a vessel that's able to hold messages, hold more abundance. So if we can, like I was mentioning earlier, having like a clear runway where we can heal and manifest, we are, making space or way for these new things to come in, this blessing, this abundance. Also as I'm looking at the next charm, which is a bag and a picture of a lady on it, is to say we stay in our bag. It's about discipline as well, like following through, but then also being that vessel that can carry so many things, because God, our angels, our guardians, our ancestors, they want to give us things that don't only last in this lifetime alone. It's things that are going to last a very long time. So I'm seeing multiple bags right now where one bag can even create other bags. I'm even seeing what's this, this game where people kind of like swap these cups around and shuffle them around, and you have to guess under which cup has the object that's being like moved around. I'm seeing that in a sense of like bags being moved around. Bags have been shuffled around. It's like, people were trying to move our blessings or our abundance in a shape, into different shapes, into different places. But then now I'm seeing that all of those bags are actually going to expand and create more of them. I'm even seeing this character in Yu-Gi-Oh! Who is it? I think it's Pegasus, right? Where he uses like Toon World, and in Toon World there is this same trick of hats, and I'm seeing right now that all these hats are being lifted off, even that's why I'm seeing this head on this bag. So it's like we're lifting the hat off of the bag. What was this abundance or this blessing, this anointing that was covered up is being opened up. It's being revealed. Wow. Yo. What? Wow. Wow. Okay, let's keep going. Thank you, Spirit. The next card is a dog, and it looks like it's a little dog. It looks like a little bulldog as well, but it looks so cute. Oh my gosh, it's so adorable. Earlier today I was speaking to one of my colleagues or managers at work, and they were speaking about how well, I can actually call them like my boss in a sense. Spirit is saying I should put it that way. And I'm thinking about how boss, BOSS, is like, one bucket of stinking shit. I don't know, that was like something that I got from primary school. But it's like, even with dogs, how like dogs poop in like places that you don't want them to poop in. So it's speaking to also like potty training right now. You don't want buckets of stinking shit to be in the wrong places. So that's why the hat had to be moved. That's why the bag had to be moved, and the hat also had to be moved, so that when the hat was removed, it could actually reveal your abundance in a new place. I'm also getting this Where My Dog's At energy, which is again a song, musical cards that are coming through, where we don't oh goodness, thank you, Spirit. The words are coming through. We don't never or necessarily have to worry about where our guides, where our support, where our spirit team or tribe is. And also with the necessarily, we never have to worry, but then also with the necessarily, it's to saying that anything and everything that we need or that's necessary for us will be provided. We don't have to worry. And even if we do question, like where my dog's at, where's my bag at, where's my hat at, our protection is there, our abundance is there. And I'm also getting an energy about us, even being able to have pets, to not only have, integrated, masculine, feminine, either within ourselves or with others, good energetic exchanges, but now we even get to share it with animals, so also about being in nature. And right next to that, we have this butterfly, and this butterfly is so beautiful. It looks very much balanced because its left looks exactly like its right, and again, it's joined by the body. And I'm also looking at it and being drawn to the tiles again with the line in between, the grouting. So because of this integration, because of this merging, this alchemy, we are fully balanced beings with love, with expression, with light. And we've got so much layers of, opulence, freshness. I'm even seeing like these wings like fluttering and like spreading open and out, and like just letting out this light and these orbs, and just it's looking so bright. It's like an angel, it's like, imagine a butterfly imagining or emerging from its cocoon, imagining more things that it can become, like shape-shifting. But as it emerges from its cocoon, it's taking new shapes and new forms with all these different experiences, and it just grows and it expands and it becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. So I'm seeing a lot of love, a lot of just expansion, and a lot of colors as well. So it's like a full spectrum. It's like expanse that goes beyond even what we think or believe we know. It's really past, present, future. It's like for all life, for all time. This is, a remembrance, or even like a legacy type of an energy. Wow. The charms came through. Hey, this is charmed. It's all that magic. It's all that energy, man. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, Spirit. Let's see. Spirit's saying check the time. The time right now is 7:24, but on our timer we have 3636. 36. Okay, cool, man. I'm even being led to how, with Nikola Tesla, I think he spoke about how 369 were like the numbers that, numbers of the universe. So it's like, even again with the balance, 36, it's like that's the two sides that are actually coming together. Something that is in energetic match to you, or an energetic mirror to you, is actually what's coming in. Even as I'm thinking about the mirror, it's like that's why we have 2 cards for each group here. The set of 3 of 2 cards. There we go. Thank you, Spirit. 2 cards in a set of 3. Oh, thank you. It came through. 2-3 zone, gang. You know what it do, man. That's another one of my favorite numbers, man. We taking the leap. And I also got my Jordans on. I got the OGs, because we the OGs up in here, man. But yeah, it's just back to the mirror, 2 cards for each group here. So let's start with those. So the first 2, it's through the fire as well as transitions. Wow, as we go through the fire, we're going through our trials, our tribulations. We are being chiseled. We are being reformed. We are being purified. Anything that is not meant to make it through the fire will be left in the fire. It will be ashes. And we emerge from the ashes as the phoenix. And that is ultimately the transition that we had to go through. Different phases, different periods of time in a relationship, in a working space. I'm just thinking about, the inspiration to these playlists, where Through the Fire has a lot of messages about relying on God, relying on our angels, our spirit team, and even tapping into our higher self to remember that the things that we go through have a greater reason and purpose. And yesterday we were speaking about how every season has a reason. So if these things were ultimately making us our better or higher level beings, or the ones that we are manifesting or evolving, embodying into, then that's why we had to transition, because things can't stay the same. In my mind, I'm seeing the 6 of swords right now, and Spirit's reminding me like, yo, dude, you don't need the cards because we're gonna drop them into your head. You had to even tap into your power of like clear cognizance, because you know things. Even as I'm saying this right now, it's like we were shedding all these distractions, all these things that were getting into us being able to tap into ourselves. So if we are not working at a certain place anymore, if we are not in a certain relationship anymore, if we are not engaging in the same things that we used to anymore. It's because it served its purpose, and us letting it go is making room for other things to take place, So I'm even thinking now that because I'm not smoking weed as much, I've now used that time. I mean, all the time I would spend rolling, smoking, thinking about weed, anything related to that has now been diverted into something else, which can be this, doing more reading, speaking to the collective, spreading light. So it's a matter of saying, like, we were being shown where we were directing energy into things that were not necessarily going to yield good results over time, or that were not going to allow us to be these phoenixes, these higher, greater versions that are able to spread light and also, transmute ultimately. So these things actually went through the process of transmutation, and that is alchemy, right? Because you're taking one thing, changing its shape and form through a process, input, process, system, output, it's all coming together right now. And you come out on the other side, you transition to the other side from the heavy waters to the calmer waters, through the storm as well. That's what's coming through right now. Oh, I'm even thinking maybe I should actually do that, make a through the storm as well, because we're balancing the two. There's fire and there's water. So we went through the fire and we went through the storm. So wow, that's going to be an interesting playlist to do. Thank you, Spirit, for the download. Much appreciated. Much appreciated, man. We've transitioned, man. We're in a new timeline. We're in a new era. I'm even getting the cap as well. And we were speaking about how there were hats on our abundance, but in this new era, it's unlocked. So yeah, here we are with the next two, which is making moves, which is also making movies as well as keep going. These actually go so well together, hand in hand. I'm even moving my hands. It's like left step, right step, left step, right step. It's like as we make moves, take one step, we'll be guided to take the next step. We don't have to see the whole journey, the whole pavement, the whole path that we need to walk. I'm even thinking about the pavement, and these cards are also beneath shoes. Something that I did was start a shoe business because of how much I loved sneakers, and it was necessary for me to even choose a name that was very important, because we started from the bottom, the pavement. We're taking steps, from our past, learning things that we've, transmuted, integrated, and using them now in our present to create the future. And as we move forward, we're creating steps that other people can follow, because that's what we were doing, right? Integrating things from the past and now, thank you, confirmation verb, into the future, because we had to learn certain things that were a part of our evolution, and that was happening every single day. I think right now it's a time where the manifestation is definitely going to come in. I'm even being led to look at this Hamsa trinket that I have over here, and it's to say this era is a protected era. And I'm even being reminded of a reading I did some days ago about how our journey is protected, our path to greatness, expansion is protected. But as we are making moves and movies, it's something to see, something to document. And we were just speaking about that also with the headphones, where we are also listening in, because like a director is, in control of this movie. We are the dream, we live the dream, we make the dream. So we can make ourselves the movie. What characters do we want to be? And then we make a movement in that, right? And this movement is going to be captured. I think people are going to look at us as examples. I'm also thinking about a reading I did earlier as well about how, we were being called to leadership, being called to take the first steps, be the leaders or the ones who are ahead of the pack, the trailblazers or the trendsetters. So there'll be movies, documentations on the things that we've done. We are ultimately going to be able to teach others, again, be examples for them as to how they can also keep going and motivate them, inspire them. I'm also getting an energy about coaching and teaching as well. And those people are leaders. We need more coaches. We need more teachers to help bring new energies and guide more people, into this new eras or foundations. So yeah, let's keep making moves. Let's keep making movies. Movies are things that we always go back to. So it's also coming back as a reminder to say, when we look back at the steps that we've taken, at the things that we've documented and that we've captured, we will also appreciate just how far we've come, how far we have evolved, or that we have evolved. It's like crowning ourselves, honoring ourselves, embracing ourselves for the things that we have done. So I think as we keep moving, it's a reminder to appreciate ourselves, to honor ourselves, appreciate ourselves. Like I keep saying that because what we appreciate. If we love ourselves, take care of ourselves, we're gonna be inspired to do more of that. That's how our brains work. The more evidence, the more experiences we have that are within a certain vein or direction, it is less daunting for our brains to pursue or follow through with that direction, because our brains are like wired for survival, and we are now wiring our brains for success. So even with each of those steps leading to fruition, to abundance, our brain will ultimately restructure or be reprogrammed to success, and realize that we don't have to act from a survival or a lack or a poverty state of mind. Wow, guys, this is crazy. Thank you, God. I'm just seeing the Nine of Pentacles, Ten of Pentacles as well in my mind right now, where from enjoying things by ourselves, we can now enjoy them with others and leave some behind for generations to come, or our families as well. Beautiful. So yeah, under the Heal and Manifest, as I'm looking at these, I'm getting an image of like triangles, pyramids, because I have two cards below and the card that I had on top, which started the reading. So it's like 3 triangles, 3 pyramids, 3 sides. But and I think that's why the number 3 came through right now, because here we have love and rise and grind. But love, the E on love is the number 3. So it's like 3 eras, 3 phases, even with the pavement I was speaking to, integrating things from past, present, and future. We have 3 cards here, how we started this reading. It's like as we take these leaps and bounds, like I'm thinking of yesterday's reading as we were speaking about, the Hulk and just jumping and leaping over hectares and acres, and even now jumping over timelines, jumping over dimensions, it's crazy, like galaxies, we jumping galaxies, we jumping eras, we jumping, what's this? Okay, it'll come to me. Dimensions, timelines, galaxies, I don't know, man, but it'll come through. But you get it. I even said at least 3 things there, so I'll take it. But yes, with love, guys, you know what? It's interesting how this card is below the love cards that I was speaking to, like the hot air balloon, Minnie Mouse, and Daisy Duck. It's like as we heal and manifest, as we move forward, love is going to be like the holding frequency. For as long as we do things with love from our hearts, that's what's going to allow us to rise and grind. It's like love is the motivation. I'm even getting that song by Conway the Machine where he says, my story is the motivation. And when people ask us like, hey, how did we achieve this new level? We're going to tell them it was love. It was the love of God. It was the love of ourselves. It was the love of others. It was just tapping in and honing in on that love frequency, the highest vibration, and not only honing in on it, but becoming it. We are going to become love in everything that we do. Everything that we do is going to be love. It's going to be an expression of, divinity, of creation. Wow, that's very much powerful. And even in this playlist, it's speaking to different types of love, love that was painful, love that was kind. Even that Bible verse is coming through right now about, love is patient, love is kind, all of that. But it's our understanding of love that came through this alchemy. I'm even thinking about how with Reiki, you can ultimately heal the best when you are healing from a point of love, when you have, tapped into that frequency, that healing energy, and that's how the healing actually works. And when we manifest, it's because we've, like I was mentioning about how having a clean platform or a slate, which is like a foundation, a good structure. I'm even seeing the Tower card in my mind right now, where things fell apart that weren't for this new era, but as they fell apart, we gave something, a new platform for things to rise upon. I'm even now being drawn back to the beginning, which is why we were taken through the fire, because there were things that needed to be let go of, right? And even in that Tower card, there's like thunder, and sometimes thunder can cause fire. I'm also seeing where there's smoke, there's fire. So through the smoke, there's this emergence of love and radiance, and here's this butterfly coming through again, where there's two hearts on it. So love within ourselves, love of others, the love within, the love without. As within, so without. Again, with the alchemy, we've integrated this love and realized that we are actually one with the universe. So from that platform, we are able to rise and now grind, knowing that that is our mission and purpose: to be love, to embody love, to spread love, and love, teaching people that love is the holding frequency. And if we can do that, that's why it's being captured for others to see that they too are love, and that love is ultimately what we all need. Love is what we want. What's that show that used to be on SABC 1? But all you need is love, I think, man. Wow, that's some old school right there. But again, right, things from the past have found their way into this present moment. And now, because now that message from the past was all you need is love in the past, we're remembering it now in the present. Even in future, we're going to speak that, hey guys, all you need is love. All you need is to tap in and tune into this beautiful frequency that is here for us. It's available to us, and we're just going to continue loving ourselves, loving God, loving, every part of this experience, remembering that we too are gods. In fact, that's perhaps one of the greatest lessons that we come here on earth to learn, that love is who we are and what we are meant to be. Of course, there's many other things that we come to learn, dependent on our own individual experiences, what has even occurred within our lineage. You might be healing, past generational wounds and curses, whatever it may be, maybe abandonment, poverty, betrayal, denial, fear. There's so many things that we can heal, even here, reclaiming your abundance. Maybe something was stolen from you. I don't know what it is, but we are now being given the opportunity to reclaim our power, our strength, have this energy back, integrated back into us, be whole human beings. And once we are whole, we can now spread that love. And that is, reminding me to the beginning of the left heart, the right heart, and that integration, that alchemy, because we've healed and now we've manifested, and we are evolving every day. What a beautiful place to end this reading. Thank you so much, gang. Thank you so much, team. Thank you, God. Ashe, ashe. And yay! Peace, gang. Check it tomorrow.